So, if you could just tell us just a little bit about the Castle Halloween Museum. Kind of, I know you gave us a little overview of, we took a tour already, but just kind of some of the pieces and some of the how you got into this.
Well, the art and the folk art, I think, as well as the vintage, but the art and the folk art are our emphasis here at the museum. We don't do haunted house or blood and gore or anything like that. This is an art museum. This is a museum that people can go back into their youth, or go forward into their youth. We start with the Salem witch trials. We go into the Druids. We go into all aspects of what is related to Halloween, the origins, the motifs, the things that are interactive, and the histories, and the history of the pieces and the artists that we use. It's decorative, it's eye candy, yes, but it's also a social history tour. We like to emphasize the positive rather than the garbage negative stuff that we get so much of around Halloween. And we get so tired of the same old that people go on about, garbage cans that rip people's throats out and stuff. I mean, garbage. I mean, it's boring, And I don't think scary is having somebody screaming in your ear. It's painful, but it's not scary. If I wanted that type of stuff, I go and work in an ER. To me, scary is Lights Out, Arch Obler, some of those old movies like Vincent Price, who is to me the god of the Gothic and the horror movies and stuff like that. I mean, it's what your mind does. It's not saying blood and gore. It's just not the same thing. So we really like that. And we love the Gothic. The Gothic has given so much to architecture and art over the centuries, and it's just marvelous. And I think a lot of it that's being done, the contemporary stuff. And when I can say temporary, I talk about anything from the 50s on up as being contemporary. I find that, it's a case of going back and reusing some of those old images, and not only reusing them but making them your own. And that's the difference between a great folk artist like Jack Rhodes or Linda Wolf or Debbie Thiebaud, who have made things their own, as opposed to a lot of the insipid junk that you see in the stores and stuff like that. I've written a lot of books on this. I've been writing articles for so many years. I was the laughing stock of the antique world for years. That's how I got the name the Halloween Queen, and finally got a registered trademark for it, because it was a joke for us. I was concerned. Times have changed in the last 45 years. Trust me, they have. We want to not only educate, but we want people to really enjoy it. So whether most of the people who come for the tour are older. When I say older, they're older than teenage. But we have a lot of people who will bring younger kids. And we want to know that the 5-year-old is just as happy as the 60-year-old and everybody in between. There's got to be something for the nostalgia of each of those people. And I learned that years ago when one kid looked at, and he must have been all 6 years old, and he said, "Oh my God, I remember one of those when I was a little kid." I'm thinking, when you were a little kid? Okay. But that was his nostalgia. His nostalgia is not mine. Or the nostalgia of a 30-year-old or a 60-year-old or an 80-year-old. It's all different for everybody, and where they came from, what their country was. We've had people from different countries and stuff like that. And everybody who comes in looks for something different or likes something different. Some people might be, really into like the Green Man. Some people are like into the skeletons or into the Gothic. Some people are into the magic. Some people are into the spiritualism. Some people are, so there's something for everybody. And we try to find the best of things and what we can afford, And we've been very fortunate for the last 45 years. That's what we always got for gifts, and people have always been very generous, knowing what we love to leave this as a legacy, because it's totally unique. There's never been anything like it, and probably never will be, We are in contact with a lot of the artists, and many of the ones that we were in contact years ago have passed away. John Marino, I mean, there's so many of them that have passed away who have done wonderful art, but they're gone. And once they're gone, they're gone. We've incorporated a lot of the Southern folk art pottery in, because it's the images of the ugly faces and the devil faces and the scary faces, which are akin to the costumes and the masks, which are to hide and to be mufti. So we tend to be open about most things. The one thing we will not, tolerate is the ugliness, the nastiness, because that's not what a museum's about.
No, that's good. I enjoyed it, and you have a lot of different collection. How long did it really take to collect all this?
I've been collecting, well, let's see, we've been married 45 years. I was collecting way before that because I started with the Salem witch trials and all of the books. I mean, my books aren't even here. My library isn't even here yet, most of it. And I have thousands of books on the spiritualism and the paranormal. So, the Salem witch trials. And I've got a lot of early volumes as well as contemporary stuff. And then, of course, many that have been written by, friends and people that I knew. I'm very cognizant that we need to do a lot of research. We need to do a lot of, there's so much misinformation and disinformation and garbage that's been written about this that I find it very upsetting. So I really like to, get into this type of thing and have it available. We have a lot of people who come for not just photography or research and stuff. They'll spend, by the day rather than, just taking a tour. They'll come and they'll spend time doing a day thing so that they can set up their photographs and stuff like that. And I think that's really great because you're seeing the real images. You're seeing the positive images, but you're seeing how Halloween was and should be and can be, and the interactiveness between the harvest and the religions and the everyday toil of human beings and how it progresses and morphs over generations.
Yeah, this is some place that you could definitely come here and learn about. So I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time and showing us around and even just sitting down and talking to us.
My pleasure.